Good morning, children. Welcome back to the studies. You have enjoyed a lot. Now we will start with our studies. So today we are going to do Science Standard 4, Lesson 7, Air. Children, why do we need air? We need air to live. Air helps us to stay alive. The way we need food and water, same way we need air to live. In this lesson, we are going to learn about air and its uses, composition of air, air pollution, properties of air and process of breathing and burning. Now first of all, let's start with the air. Now children, tell me, can you see air? No, we cannot see air, but we can feel it. When we blow, moving air comes out from our mouth and we can feel the air. Now let's discuss about air and its uses. Last year in Standard 3, you all have learnt that matter exists in 3 states: solid, liquid and gas. Air is an example of gaseous state of matter. All living things, they need air to live. We cannot see, we cannot touch, we cannot taste air, but we can feel it. And as you have learnt before also, there is a full blanket of air around the earth, and this blanket of air that surrounds the earth is called atmosphere. Now children, in the air mainly we have 3 gases: the carbon dioxide, oxygen and nitrogen. These 3 are the main gases present in the air. There are other gases also, but they are in very small quantity. Now let's see how we use air. First of all, air is needed by all living things to breathe. Then second is, it is necessary for burning. When we burn anything, if air is not there, then the thing will not burn. Then it helps in drying things. You must have seen your mother, she puts the wet clothes outside, and if the air is blowing, then the clothes, they dry easily. Then next comes is, it helps the birds to fly. The birds can fly with the help of air. Then simple thing, you play with balloons. So how do the balloons they blow? They blow with the help of air. Then the air also helps the sailboats to move, and it moves the blades of windmills. Children, when you are going to some place by road, then you must have seen on the sides there are windmills. So the blades of the windmills, they rotate with the help of the wind. Then you must have seen at the garage, the person uses the air machine is there. If you have seen, he uses this air machine to put the air in the tires of vehicles. So this way air is needed for all these things: breathing, burning, drying things, birds to fly, moving the blades of windmills and inflating the tires. Inflating the tires means making the tires full. Making the tires full. Now if you want to see that the air, how can we see? That means the way we can feel. So here one activity is given, that you take some ice cubes in a glass and put it on the table. After some time, you will see that small droplets of water are there on the outer side of the glass. So from where do these droplets come? These droplets, they come from the air. Air has water vapor. Already you have learnt in standard 3. The water cycle you have learnt. In that you have learnt about water vapor. So there is water vapor in the air. And when the water vapor touches the cool part of the glass, it gets converted into drops of water. Now children, we will learn about properties of air. Properties of air. In that, first property is air occupies space. Now how can you say this, that air occupies space? Simple example, you take a balloon. You take a balloon and you fill air in it. Then you will see that the size of the balloon increases. So what it shows? That there was place inside in which you have filled the air, and it means that air occupies space. See here, the activity is given. Balloon. What things you need? One balloon. Blow air into the balloon. You will see the balloon expands and increases in shape. This shows that when you blow in air, the space inside the balloon is filled by air and it becomes bigger. This clearly shows that air occupies space. So the first property of air is it occupies space. Second thing is air moves. Now how we can show this thing, that air moves? You must have seen when you spray deodorant on your body, it spreads and we can smell it. The simple example is you put agarbatti and the smell of that agarbatti goes in the whole room. So this shows that air moves, and moving air is called wind. And when the wind blows very fast, it is called as storm. It is called as storm. Then next property of air is air has weight. How can you show this? You take two footballs, one without air and one filled with air, and you take them in your hands. What you will feel? The ball filled with air is heavier than the other. It shows that air has weight. Next is air is colorless. My dear children, can you say the color of air? No, we cannot say the color of air. Next is air expands. Now, what do you mean by it? Air expands on heating. This you will learn more about it in the higher classes. Just now you have to remember that air, when the hot air is there, it becomes light in weight and it starts going up. This you all know, because water vapor, if you have seen, the water vapor is light in weight and it starts going up in the sky. Same way, when air is heated, it expands and becomes light in weight and starts moving up. So these were the properties of air. The first one, air occupies space. Second, air moves. Third, air has weight. Fourth, air is colorless. And fifth, air expands. Now children, let's come to the composition of air. Now what do you mean by composition of air? Composition of air means what all things are present in air. So air is a mixture of gases. There are many gases in air, but mainly there are two gases, nitrogen and oxygen. Mainly there are two gases, nitrogen and oxygen. See, 78% of nitrogen is there, 21% of oxygen is there. And other gases like carbon dioxide and other hydrogen and all these gases, they are in this much part only. So mainly there are two gases, nitrogen and oxygen. In addition to this, there are other gases also like carbon dioxide, water vapor. All these form the air, and so it is called as the composition of air. Now our earth is surrounded by a layer of air that is called the atmosphere. This atmosphere is divided into many parts. See, this is our earth. Then we have, these are the different layers of the atmosphere. And as we go up, as we slowly go up, the air becomes thinner. The air becomes thinner. So you must have seen the people, those who climb mountains, the mountaineers, when they go up, they carry the oxygen cylinder. Why? Because the air becomes thinner as we go up in the atmosphere. And as we go up, the oxygen becomes less. So it is necessary to carry the oxygen cylinders when the people, they climb mountains, so that they do not have any difficulty in breathing. So hope children you have understood this much. Next part we will do the rest chapter.